few new pickups from CEX, Cash Converters, and a return to the car boot sales. Alright everyone, hope you're doing well. Thanks for pressing play once again. I'm the man they call Pixel Paul, and I haven't been to quite as many car boot sales this year, so it was nice to get back to one this Sunday. Yeah, I don't know why I haven't done as many this year. Just lacked a little bit of motivation and enthusiasm for the car boot sales. It's one of those where if you go and you don't find anything, and then you don't find anything the week after, you kind of start to get into a little bit of a, I don't know, bit of a malaise, is that the word, with them. But I did go this weekend. The weather was okay, so I thought, let's give it a go. Finally, I think the last one I went to was when I was on holiday in Scarborough, and that one was okay, and I did okay there. But in general, the one near me, the Bolton one, the big one, hasn't been great this year. So yeah, I've just not had many trips to it. But I did this Sunday, and I have picked up a few games. Let's have a quick look at the car boot sale now. Good morning, and it is car boot sale time once again. Say once again, it's been a while since I've been to one. It's been a long time since I've been to one, in fact. It's very early in the morning. I feel very tired and not looking my best either. But anyway, let's go and see what we can find today.
Play 64 games, limited ones over here. How old are you today, mate? Anywhere for
Car boot sale done then. It was alright. There's not a huge amount of games there, but I have picked up a few, as always. Well, say as always, not as always. But yeah, it's okay. Can't say, excuse me, can't say I've missed car boot sales that much. These early mornings are a bit of a killer, especially when you're still not feeling 100%. But yeah, we'll get back to the games room and I'll show you what I picked up today. So that was a very quick look around the Bolton car boot sale from this weekend, and as always, and yeah, I do shoot myself in the foot a little bit because I know I don't go mega early. I'm not, you know, like the resellers who get there at the crack of dawn, rummaging in people's boots and that sort of thing. Not all resellers do that, obviously, but some do. Yeah, that's not for me. I just go and see what else I can find, see what the resellers have sort of left behind, and it does always make for slim pickings. So I know I shouldn't complain because that's the way I do it. I just go at the time when I go. And if there's nothing there, well, that's probably why, to be fair. But anyway, this time I did manage to find a few things. There were a couple of people selling games specifically. There's the usual stacks of games on, you know, random tables, and usually they look like stuff that's just been picked up from charity shops. It's the usual stuff like, you know, Assassin's Creeds, FIFAs, Pro Evos, that sort of thing. But yeah, there were two sellers with sort of predominantly games, which I kind of showed in the footage there, and this is what I picked up from them. So first up, I managed to grab this one. Now some of these I don't actually know the values of them, particularly in CEX. I've not looked up this lot actually, but I know roughly what they are, and I think I've paid roughly about the same price as the sort of CEX price. So I picked up, this is a loose cartridge only, Tomb Raider on the Nintendo Game Boy Colour. Never played this one before. This was the first Tomb Raider game on the Game Boy Colour. I think there is another one. And was there a version of... No, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure there's another Tomb Raider game though on the Game Boy Colour. I have given this one a quick go actually, and it is very PlayStation Tomb Raider, or very early PlayStation Tomb Raider. It does feel like a Tomb Raider game. But yeah, £5 paid for that one. I think it's roughly about that loose cartridge in CEX, so I was quite happy with that. Nice and clean. So yeah, Tomb Raider on the Game Boy Colour. And also another loose cartridge. This was from the same seller. Paid £6 for this. I think again this is £6 in CEX. I picked this up on the Mega Drive a few weeks ago. I'm not a huge fan of the Mega Drive version of it, but originally I used to have the SNES version of it, and I've picked the SNES version up again now, unboxed. Mortal Kombat on the Super Nintendo. Paid £6 for that one. Very nice and clean cartridge actually. Well looked after. So yeah, in terms of sort of content, I guess the Mega Drive version is possibly better because you can use the cheat code for the gore and all the other sort of cheats. But actual gameplay wise, I think the Mortal Kombat on the SNES handles a little bit better. It just feels a bit more chunky, and the graphics just look a little bit better. I think the music's better actually as well, I think. So I think this version of it is probably the most complete version. It's just missing the gore, which is kind of the main thing of Mortal Kombat, isn't it, in a way? But yeah, I thought let's add that one in as well, loose cartridge of it. I was never going to pick it up particularly as a boxed version for the SNES. I've got it boxed on the Mega Drive, so quite happy with that one. Then I picked up, which one should we do first? We'll go with these actually first. So these were £2 each. I think yeah, £2 each. I got Juiced on the PlayStation 2. I'm not 100% sure whether I've got this one already or not. I know I've got Juiced on the PlayStation 3. I might have this already actually. It's not worth a lot in CEX, I know that. But so for £2, it was a nice and clean copy of it, nice and complete. I just wanted to pick another one up while I was there. I've got two already, which I'll show you in a minute. So I did pick that one up. I might have it, I might not. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll soon find out. But it's a half decent street racer type game. Not bad at all. Juiced. It's street racing, isn't it? Yeah, street racing. So yeah, Juiced. And then I picked this one up because basically I've never seen it before, and I am a bit of a sucker for stuff. If it's nicely priced, there's three things that probably, usually draw me to games these days. I've never played it. Is it a good price? Never ever heard of it before. And if all of those sort of match up, I usually will try and pick it up. And this was a decent price. I'd never heard of it before. I've never played it before. And you don't see it around that often. I've never seen it before, at full stop. So Shattered Union on the Xbox. So this is a bit of a real-time strategy game. Something about America goes into a civil war, or a modern civil war, and it's a real-time strategy set around that scenario. The way things are going, maybe playing this might give me some hints and tips for future years. We won't go into politics though now. But yeah, it looks alright. I don't know much about it, like I say. I've never seen it before. It just looked intriguing. It sort of actually reminded me a little bit of Freedom Fighters, the look of it. It kind of had that sort of look of Freedom Fighters. So yeah, we'll see what that's like. Game Station stickers on there as well. We won't be beaten on price. What was it? It was $12.99 or 2 for £20. God, remember those days. But yeah, £2 paid for that one. And then I also then picked up this one. So I've got a version of this on the PlayStation 2. I think the PlayStation 2 version is slightly different to this one. Hunter the Reckoning. It's a bit of a underrated gem, this one. I think the PlayStation 2 game is pretty good. And the PS2 version is called Hunter the Reckoning Wayward, I think. And I think it's slightly different to this one, although this one does say only on Xbox. So I think the PS2 version is slightly different. It's a bit of a it's like a melee beat 'em up, not beat 'em up, part beat 'em up, part shoot 'em up, that kind of game, third person action game, that sort of thing really, with different characters that you can play as, and it is quite playable. I remember playing it ages and ages ago. I'm sure I played it ages and ages ago, and yeah, it's not bad actually. Hunt of the Reckoning, I think it's a bit of an under the radar gem, that one. It didn't say hidden gem because it's not hidden, it's there. So yeah, Hunt of the Reckoning, again, £2 pay for that one. These were all from the same guy actually. I'm going to save those two to last. I also picked this up. This one falls into the never seen it, never played it, decent price category again. It also falls into another category, which I'll just add now. Nice cover. And it's called Xenon Racing on the PlayStation 4. So I paid £4 for that one. And I think it's about the same price in CEX. When he said £4, I thought, yeah, it's probably a £4 game. I think £4 is usually the cheapest price for games on PlayStation 4 in CEX anyway. You might get the odd ones that are a little bit cheaper than that, but in general these types of games are usually about £4. So I thought I'd give this a go. Xenon Racer. Xenon Racer. From what I can gather, it's a bit of a future racer, but with wheeled cars. So that's kind of different. It's just something different about it. Yeah, it's like futuristic cars, which are, it says it on the back, driving on electricity and xenon gas. Who knows what that means? Get behind the wheel, drift as fast as you can, become, yeah, blah, 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 blah. So future racer, but in kind of wheeled futuristic cars, if you like. I had a quick look at the reviews for it. Reviews are okay. I think some reviews said that it's incredibly hard, really difficult. But yeah, it just looks interesting. I will give that one a go. Xenon Racer. Quite looking forward to giving that one a look, actually. And then, yeah, rabbit hole. We are going down that rabbit hole again. If you've been watching over the last few months, you'll know PSP UMDs have started to be added. I am not collecting these. I am collecting these. I am collecting these now by the looks of it. Yeah, there was quite a few PSP games actually. I think £3 on the PSP games and £2 on the UMD movies, which I thought was pretty good actually. Even better when I saw a copy of Aliens. I couldn't believe there was a copy of Aliens in there. I was kindly gifted a copy of the UMD for Aliens a few months ago. And then I see it in the car boot sale. Wouldn't you know, £2. There wasn't a lot of trading value on it, so I didn't pick it up. I thought, no, someone else can have that for a bargain price of £2. So yeah, I picked up X-Men 2, which I think is still one of my favourite superhero films of all time. Me and Mrs. Pixel actually saw this at the cinema 8 times. 8 times we saw this. There wasn't a lot else on at the same, around the same time. We had those really like Cineworld Unlimited pass cards as well for it. So you were basically getting in for your monthly subscription, which was like £10 back then. And we just loved this film. And we didn't have much of a life back then. Yeah, we don't have much of a life now, really. But yeah, X-Men 2 on PSP UMD. Nice and complete. Very nice, clean copy of it. It was until I've done that a few times with PSP games recently. Thrown them on the floor. So yeah, X-Men 2. And then the other one is an absolute classic. I was slightly surprised to see this at a car boot sale. Surprised to see it sort of still there. I thought someone would have snapped this up, especially for £2. I don't think it's actually priced that much more in CEX at the moment. I think it's only about £4 in CEX, which I was again sort of slightly surprised at. The Goonies. Yeah, absolute stonewall classic film, The Goonies. I remember growing up with The Goonies and just wanting to be a Goonie, go on like that sort of treasure hunt adventure. Just absolutely amazing film, just timeless film. I know there's some 80s kind of looks to it and obviously some of the music and that, but it's just, what kid, you as a kid, you couldn't not watch this film and sort of think, I wish I was in there, gang. So yeah, The Goonies on PSP had to be done. £2 for that. Very happy with that one. So that was it for the car boot sale stuff. Not loads, but quite a few interesting ones. I am interested in that one. I'm going to give that a go. Yeah, quite happy with that. Did bump into a viewer from the channel, Jim. I think it was Jim, or was it James? I can't remember if it was Jim or James. But thank you for saying hello. I'm sorry I probably wasn't at my best. I was still half asleep, as I always am at the car boot sales. But it was lovely to chat to you and let you know about some of the games that some of the guys were selling and stuff. Yeah, just very nice to see you, and thanks for letting on and saying hello. So, those were the car boot sale stuff. Cheers, everybody. So, after the car boot sale, me and Mrs. Pixel had planned to go and do a little bit of unbelievably early Christmas shopping, just try and get a few bits on the go, because I can't believe it's already Christmas coming up soon. It's just, this year has flown by. I don't know about everybody else, but for me it's just absolutely flown by. So yeah, we decided to go to Warrington. Mrs. Pixel's choice, she wanted to go to Warrington. Been there loads of times, decent CEX there. So I've took a little bit of footage, let's have a look at that now. So that was Warrington. All these places seem to be starting to get busy now, town centres and stuff, build up to Christmas and everything. I don't know how many more times we'll go out and about because it is getting busy now. But yeah, Warrington, I quite like it there. We had some nice, something nice to eat, and yeah, just a nice chilled out afternoon. Weather wasn't great, but anyway, few places to go in Warrington. CEX, Cash Converters, Cash Generators. There's a few charity shops. There's never usually that much in the charity shops, but I picked up a few bits. What have we got? Cash Converters and CEX, really. So I picked up Fighter's Destiny unboxed on the N64. Now, Fighter's Destiny on the N64 is I've played it before. I had it. I think this was the first beat 'em up to come out on the N64, and beat 'em ups had a bit of a rough ride on that console, sadly. I was coming off the back of the sort of SNES days when obviously 2D beat 'em ups were, you know, done really, really well on that console. Street Fighter 2, obviously, other games, Mortal Kombat, Art of Fighting, loads of others. And yeah, they tried to get some beat 'em ups onto the N64, and some of them were all right, some of them worked. Others were just not quite there. They didn't seem to be able to get to grips with it. And I thought Fighter's Destiny was a little bit underwhelming. But it's one I've always, as the years have gone by, I've always fancied just trying it again. But I didn't really. It's not the most expensive game boxed, but for $4.99 there, in decent condition as well, I thought, well, I'll give that a go. I'll grab it while I'm here. I think unboxed it's about £4 in CEX at the moment, so I have paid a little bit more. I could maybe have done 6 payments of 67p and done it that way, perhaps. But no, $4.99. Yeah, let's just take the label off it. It is stuck on, but it's not on the label, so that's quite good. There we go. So it's a very nice clean copy of it. And I am interested to give this a go, see what it's like. The only other beat 'em up I wouldn't mind getting again for the N64 was Mace. Mace the Dark Ages. Because I had that as well, and again, it was just okay. But I don't know, as I've got older, I've just always thought, I wouldn't mind trying that again. A bit kind of Soul Calibur with, weapons. But done with like knights and with bigger armor and stuff like that. So it just always, I just remember playing it and thinking it was okay back then, but I'd just like to give that another go, so I might try and pick that up again. But yeah, Fighter's Destiny on the N64. And then they actually had another N64 game in there. Again, it's one that I've had before, but it was boxed. And again, $4.99. I thought for a boxed N64 game, again, not the world's most expensive N64 game. F1 World Grand Prix, $4.99. Again, I could have made 4 payments of 67p, 6 payments of 67p to pay it off. But no, I decided to splash out and buy it. So yeah, Formula 1 World Grand Prix on the N64. Again, I have played it. It was okay. Formula 1's not really my sort of racing game of choice, if you like, but I thought at that price, why not? Let's get it added into the collection. The box is generally not too bad. Then you get around to this side and there is a bit of a crease there and it has been bashed there, so that is why it's $4.99. I'm not sure how much it is in CEX at the moment, but other than that, it's not too bad, and I think I can probably get that straightened out a little bit and make it look a bit nicer before I put it into a box protector. But it is complete as well, so we've got the manual, which is actually in decent condition, and the cartridge as well, which is nice and clean too. So for $4.99, I thought that was alright, to be honest. Like I say, it is usually one of the sort of cheaper end N64 games. I think there's the sequel, F1 World Grand Prix 2, imaginative title, is a little bit more expensive, but not much more expensive. So yeah, quite happy with that one. It's just a nice another one to add onto the N64 shelf, but I will probably give it a quick go as well. Still at Cash Convertors, this one sort of jumped out. There's 2 more actually from Cash Converters. I also picked this one up, Jurassic World Evolution on the PlayStation 4. I picked that up for $3.99. That's a £10 game in CEX, and I think you get, was it £6 trade in it, I think? So I probably will give this a go, but I might trade it in as well, get a couple of quid back for it, just have a look at it and see what it's like. It's not necessarily my kind of game. I do quite like the Jurassic World games, Jurassic Park, Jurassic World films, but I'm not sure this game is 100% sort of my type of game. But I'll give it a look, and at that price I had to pick it up really. So yeah, £10 in CEX, that $3.99 paid. Not a bad find, that one, I think. I also then picked up, last one from Cash Converters. They actually had 2 Call of Duty steelbooks in there. World War II was there. I think that was a tenner. I have already got that. Technically, I do already have this, but I haven't got this steelbook version of it, so I picked this up as well. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, and it is a steelbook, and you know I love a steelbook, and I paid $6.99 for it. And it is in really nice condition, actually. The outer sleeve's in good condition, very nice and clean, and then the steelbook itself is quite nice too. not the world's greatest steelbook. It's a little bit bland, a little bit grey and bland. But you've got Modern Warfare on the back, because there's a remastered version of it included with this. I think it might be as a download code possibly. And then the Infinite Warfare on the front. Nice and complete. So yeah, $6.99. I'm always going to pick up a steelbook for something around that price. I have played, obviously I played Modern Warfare before. I played the remastered version of it before as well. But Infinite Warfare, I have played Infinite Warfare, and I actually really, really liked Infinite Warfare. I played it on the PlayStation 4, and I thought it was one of the best, and this is just a campaign obviously, one of the best Call of Duty campaigns I'd played for ages. I just really, really enjoyed it, because it's a lot more sci-fi than your normal Call of Duty games. A lot better than Advanced Warfare, which kind of was sci-fi as well to a degree. But Infinite Warfare is all space. The space flight battles in it as well. I just really enjoyed Infinite Warfare. Not too long, not too difficult. Just pick up, play, shoot, fly. I just really enjoyed it. I just thought it was pretty good. So yeah, happy to pick that one up. This is the Legacy Pro Edition. Interesting. So yeah, Xbox One game. And then last two pickups from CEX. There wasn't too much in CEX. Now Warrington CEX, I think, has always been pretty good for retro. They've always had quite a lot of Mega Drive stuff, some nice SNES stuff, NES stuff. They usually have Dreamcast and Sega Saturn stuff in there. But the cabinet this time was absolutely empty. There was no retro stuff in where, in the usual place. There was a couple of games like in the front window. I think they still had R-Type 3 in the front window for the Super Nintendo with a horrible tear on the front and still asking for about 100 and I want to say 170, something like that. It's expensive. But other than that, and they had a few games behind the counter, but not the retro stuff. It was the more sort of expensive 360, PlayStation 3 stuff. But there was just no retro around. I don't know why. I was a bit disappointed with that, really. But yeah, there was a few sort of bits in there. PlayStation 3 was pretty sparse again. And the last few times I've been to CEX, and I've not been to CEX too much recently, PlayStation 3 stuff has been quite sparse, and something's occurring with PlayStation 3, isn't it? I've seen a few people do like YouTube videos or TikTok shorts or whatever saying, about the PlayStation 3 store. Obviously it's the sort of last store of that generation that's still currently open. But there's loads of people, I don't know whether there's something official has been said or whether it's just people predicting or assuming that store is going to close at some point. And I would say it probably will close at some point. But people seem to have jumped on a bit of a bandwagon at the moment, and they're saying, buy these games now. And it feels just like last year's Xbox 360 thing. And I hope it doesn't go down that road where everybody panic buys PlayStation 3 stuff. PlayStation 3 in general is not as cheap as the Xbox 360 as it is. So if people start to panic buy or whatever you want to call it, PlayStation 3 stuff because the store might close, the prices of them are going to go through the roof again. I personally, it doesn't affect me too much because I'm now at a point where I've got most of the PlayStation 3 stuff I want. If you get picking up games like Folklore and Puppeteer and a few others recently, those are the types of games that probably would start to bounce in price potentially. I don't know. But I just hope that we don't all sort of start to panic buy stuff and get all that FOMO garbage or whatever it is. But we'll see. You just want people to be sensible with it this time. I don't know. But if you are collecting for the PlayStation 3, maybe I'm going to add to it now by saying if you are collecting for PlayStation 3 or thinking of doing it, maybe you need to do it soon. Or wait a couple of years, and like the Xbox 360, prices have started to come back down again. So maybe delay buying for the PlayStation 3. What do I know? Anyway, back to the pickups. So I got two games from CEX. And again, this one falls into the category of cheap and never seen it before and never played it before, and also probably cover as well. So I've been completely sucked into this game. The Shadow of Zorro. on PlayStation 2. Only £2.50. Never seen this game before, never heard of it before. Certainly never played it before, obviously. But yeah, quite like the front cover on that. I've no idea what the game's like. I would imagine a bit of a hack and slash duel type game. Zorro, the character, it's not one I'm ever been particularly interested in. I was never a great fan of the film either. You know, with Antonio Banderas and Catherine Zeta. So. Yeah, the reason I picked that up is because the cover looks quite cool. I just like the dark red and black on that. Kind of carries on with the instruction book, and quite a cool looking disc actually for that as well. So it's nice and complete too. I just thought, yeah, I've never seen it before. Let's pick that up. The Shadow of Zorro. I'm not expecting it to be great. Probably will be really rubbish. But at that price, happy to give it a try. Right, as you can tell, my voice is going. That's better. Then the last pickup, I only spotted this very last second actually, and this is a game that I'd seen on PlayStation 3 last year. I think I saw it last year on, I think it was Stockport CEX. It was on PS3. It was about £22 back then, so it was just a little bit too pricey. But I knew about this game and I've seen it, and I've always just fancied giving it a try. Reviews for it weren't great, and I don't think it still has particularly much of a following or a reputation, but I just fancy playing it, and it's one of those games again where I've seen it in the past and regretted not buying it. Not regretted, because it was a bit expensive back then, but it's always been on my mind to try and find it. But I did find it this time. Xbox 360 version of it, but it is Yaiba Ninja Gaiden Z, or Z if you're American. And I did pay £12 for that. So that's a lot cheaper than the PlayStation 3 version was last year. I'm not sure how much the PS3 version of it is now. But this is also the special edition of it too. And it is in absolutely immaculate, mint condition, I would say, almost. Even the guy at CEX looked at it and sort of went, wow, I think this hasn't been opened other than when we've had to break the seal to get the disc out. Because it is in absolutely lovely condition. So there's the disc and instruction booklet, and it also came with quite a cool little comic book. Let's have a quick look at that. So that's why it's, you know, special edition. And there's a digital soundtrack as well included somewhere. So yeah, quite happy with that one. Now I am aware that it is in French. But I think it should be okay. I should be able to play this. I should have probably given it a quick test before talking about it. But I'm pretty sure I can still play this. So if not, I'll just take it back. So we'll see what it's like. But yeah, Ninja Gaiden Z, Yaiba, Ninja Cyborg. I can't read French, so I can't read the back of it. Un Ninja Cyborg, tonnellate di zombie, chaos e non finire. No idea. But yeah, it looks alright. I just like the front cover. I like the idea of it. It looks quite cool. Screenshots. I think is it slightly cell shaded a little bit? Possibly. So yeah, I don't really know a huge amount about it. It's just one of those I've just wanted to try. So yeah, let's see what that's like. Hopefully it will play. I think it will play. It should be okay. If you played it, let me know what you thought of it. So those are the pickups, and it was very nice to get back to the car boot sale. I have to say, I do like going to car boot sales. I just like going when the weather's nice and when I know, you know, when I know there's going to be some games that I can pick up. Yeah, I'm a fair weather car boot sailor. I ain't a hardcore car boot sailor at all. But I do enjoy them. I do like going to them. It's quite nice getting up on a Sunday morning sometimes and having a route around. And it is better when you find some stuff. And I've found a few nice bits there, I think. Like I said, I'm intrigued by that one, see what that's like, and I'll be watching The Goonies. I've got it on DVD. I think I've got it on Blu-ray actually as well. But now I have it on UMD too. So yeah, happy with those. See what that Yaiba is like. So yeah, just some interesting pickups I think there. Quite a mixed bunch as usual. for me. But yeah, let me know how you've been getting on at car boot sales recently, if you've still been able to get to them. Let me know what you think of any of those pickups too, if you played any of them. Thank you for watching as always, and I'll see you next time.